In today's modern cattle industry, our marketing system causes a lot of our health and production problems. They're caused by calves being weaned straight off the cow, taken to the sale barn with nothing to eat, nothing to drink, or after they're purchased, they are put on a truck for a long haul. That period of time where that calf goes without anything in his rumen causes a microbe die-off. In that die-off, the pH goes down due to handling stress and lack of something in the rumen. When that happens, then the rumen lining is compromised and bad bacteria leak out into the calf system where they're not beneficial in causing infection. Correct. They do not have the capacity to utilize the feed that we're feeding them, plus they're dehydrated. So it's our goal, and it's very beneficial to us to get them to eat and drink as quickly as possible. Some of the other challenges caused by our marketing system is we're buying naive calves. They're calves that don't know how to eat feed, they don't know how to drink out of a trough. They've usually drank out of a tank or a running stream or a river. So those calves have to actually learn how to drink out of a trough and learn how to eat feed out of a trough. That time period of them learning how to do that also causes that reduction in microbes because they're not getting anything to eat. In an ideal situation, as a backgrounder or a feedlot operator, we would have the opportunity to buy cattle from surrounding areas that have had a very good vaccination program and a very good sustained nutrition program. We would also have the opportunity to not have to haul those calves very far, and they would already know how to eat and drink because they would have been weaned on the ranch that they grew up on and given a period of time to adjust and adapt in their native environment. Any cattle that are bought in a local environment that know how to eat and know how to drink, and then they're transported a short distance, immediately go back and start drinking and eating. So therefore you don't have a microbe die-off, you don't have a compromise of the rumen lining because of acidosis or acidity. And so those calves go right back into production, and their immune system is also developed because they've been vaccinated. They already have a defense built against the pathogens that are in their area. Where we get into trouble is cattle aren't bought on health and location, they're bought on price. So if I'm able to buy a calf in Florida and transport him to Texas cheaper than I can buy a local calf, more than likely I'm going to make that buying decision because I do not want to pay too much for that calf in the very beginning.
I got to pay a little more money for my local calf is going to pay because that calf is going to start again a lot quicker than the calf that I have bought in Florida, and I should in turn have to use less antibiotics.
Correct. So if that calf, if he is purchased in the local environment, but the big factor there is that calf is weaned before you purchasing and transporting, or you take delivery after he is weaned. It's the weaning process and the not knowing how to eat and drink that cause us the big problems. In our preconditioning and background operations, we've identified the problems caused by our marketing systems, which are fasting periods, stress periods due to handling that cause an increase in acid production, and an erosion of the rumen. To counteract these, we want a safe, all-natural, and an effective solution for those, so we use Cattle Active. We use it when we process, we use it when we revaccinate, and also in our growing protocols when we turn out on wheat or we turn out on summer grass, we want to give those calves another dose. So our dose at preconditioning is 10 cc's, our dose at revaccination is 10 cc's, and then our dose when we turn out on grass is 10 cc's. And all of these are in conjunction with the maturation of the rumen and the changing in the microbes and bacterial population throughout that rumen due to the fact that we're changing diets. We've taken that calf off of milk. We're introducing to either strictly forage, or we're also supplementing him with a grain. So we want the environment to be correct for those microbes and those bacteria to be able to flourish. Another really good, effective situation is if we've had cattle out on grass or wheat and they're going into the feed yard and say they weigh 800, those calves might have been subjected to a dry period. They may have been short on protein supplementation, so their pH has changed. So immediately when we revac them and deworm them and put them into the feedlot and go to our finishing rations, if we use a 20 cc dose, then we correct the problems that we've had back out in range conditions or on wheat, and we create an environment where the microbes are ready to start utilizing a high concentrate diet. So we reduce that acidosis probability of happening, because bloat sometimes is a problem in those cattle when we start them on those high concentrate rations.